I used to talk to him in the kitchen, even after he was gone. I'd say his name out loud, like he might answer. Like I could still start an argument about the radio being too loud. It took me 6 years to stop doing that. 6 years to realize I wasn't talking to him. I was talking to the place where he used to stand. My name is Dorothy. I'm 98 years old. You don't need to know that. I'm telling you anyway, because I forget what things matter and what things don't. The forgetting comes and goes. Some days I remember the weather in 1953. Other days I can't find my bedroom, and I panic like a child. The panic is the worst part. The remembering is worse. I met Henry at a church dinner in Cincinnati. I was 22. He was 25 and had these hands that wouldn't stop moving. He played piano for the choir, and his fingers were always tapping something. The table, his leg, my arm. When he finally got brave enough to touch me, I thought that meant he was nervous. Later, I understood. He was just alive in a way I wasn't. Alive in a way that made stillness feel like death to him. We married in 6 months. My mother said it was too fast. She was right about most things. I didn't listen to her because I didn't want to be her. She seemed old at 40, worn down by my father, who was decent enough but never asked her anything, never wondered what she thought. I told myself Henry was different. Henry asked questions. Henry listened. What I didn't understand was that listening and hearing are not the same thing. The first 20 years were good. I want to say that clearly because I used to say they were perfect, and that's a lie. And lies are what I'm tired of now. They were good. We had 3 children. We moved 3 times. He worked at a factory, then a shipping office. Then he drove a bus for the city because he liked the routes, liked knowing where he was going. I taught 2nd grade until I retired. I was patient with children in a way I couldn't be with him. With him, I wanted so much, too much. I wanted him to be satisfied, to stop moving, to look at me the way he looked at things on the horizon. He had affairs. I knew about some of them. Maybe I knew about all of them and hid the knowing from myself. There was a woman at the bus depot, a singer he played with after our choir director died. Women I never met, referred to in phone calls that ended when I entered the room. I didn't confront him. I told myself it was the price of his restless hands, the price of his life. I was proud of my patience. I wore it like a medal. Look at me. I didn't make scenes. Look at me. I kept the house. I kept the children from knowing. I kept so much from them. They grew up thinking their father was complicated and their mother was simple. They were half right. Henry got sick when he was 64. Heart. The doctor said it was manageable. He quit smoking. He started walking. He sat more than he used to, which I thought was the illness, but was actually something else. He wanted to talk. I didn't know this until it was almost over, but he wanted to talk about everything. The affairs, the silences, the way I had stopped looking at him sometime in the 1970s. I couldn't do it. I had spent 30 years building a wall, and he wanted me to name each brick. I was too tired, or too angry, or too something I still can't name. I changed the subject. I made soup. I said we had time. We didn't have time. He died in his sleep on a Tuesday. I woke up and his cold hand was touching my back. The same hand that used to tap tables, that used to find me in the dark. I was proud of that too. I thought it meant I was strong. It meant I was already gone, already talking to a kitchen that couldn't answer back. The house got quiet. That's what people say, but it's not accurate. The house got loud with absence. Every sound was wrong. The refrigerator hummed too low. The floors creaked in places that used to be silent. I heard him anyway, in the hallway, in the chair by the window, where he never sat alive but sat constantly after. I started leaving the radio on. Talk shows I hated. Anything to break the frequency of his not being there. I went through his things slowly. Boxes we had moved 4 times and never opened. Letters from a woman in Detroit I never knew existed. Photos of a child with her eyes, dated 1961. I stared at that photo for an hour. I put it back in the box. I have never told anyone. What would I say? That my marriage had dimensions I couldn't perceive? That I was proud of surviving a flat map? My children worried about me? They still do. They visit on Sundays and speak loudly because I'm old and they think I can't hear. I can hear fine. I choose not to respond sometimes, because the energy of answering is more than the question deserves. They want me to move, to sell this house, to be somewhere with other old people who also talk to kitchens. I won't do it. This is where the quietest part of my life happened. I need to finish here. I started eating dinner at 3 in the afternoon. There's no rule against it. The light is different then. The day still feels possible at 3. By 6, it's already over, and I haven't participated. At 3, I can pretend I'm eating with someone. I set 2 plates for a year. Then I stopped because it made my daughter cry. Now I set 1 plate, and I remember the second one. Memory is like that now, layered, unreliable, truthful in ways that don't help. Last month I found a letter he wrote me. I was looking for my insurance cards, and it was tucked in a folder labeled Taxes, 1987. He must have written it when his heart first started failing, when he still believed we would have the conversation he wanted. It's 4 lines. I read it once a day, not for comfort, to remember that he tried, that I failed. That failure has a sound, and in this house I hear it constantly. I loved you in every room. I knew you didn't believe me. I wanted one more chance to make it plain. I will die with your doubt in my mouth. I don't know when he wrote that last line, before or after he understood he was dying. The letter isn't dated. It's in his handwriting from the early years, when he still pressed hard enough to emboss the next page. I touch the indentations. I try to feel the pressure of him deciding to write this and deciding not to give it to me. Or maybe he did give it to me. Maybe I found it then and put it away. The forgetting protects me and punishes me. I can't tell the difference anymore. There's a woman on my street, 91, whose husband died last winter. She comes to my porch sometimes, and we don't speak. We sit and watch cars pass. She has started doing what I do, talking to rooms, arranging furniture that doesn't need arranging. I see her at the grocery store, buying 2 of things, 2 apples, 2 pork chops. I don't tell her. What would I say? That it lasts longer than the books suggest? That the year everyone thinks is the hardest is actually the easiest? Because you're still in shock, still expecting them to come back? The hard years are 4, 7, 11. The years when you finally understand, they're not delayed, they're absent. The word means what it means. I dream about him sometimes. Not the good dreams people describe. I dream we're in the kitchen and he's telling me about the woman in Detroit, the child I saw in the photograph. He's trying to explain, and I won't listen. I wake up with my jaw clenched, with the flavor of 30 years of not asking still on my tongue. I had so many chances, before the illness, during. The night before he died, I went to sleep angry about something I can't remember. A dish he left in the wrong place. A sigh that meant something I didn't want to codo. I turned away from him. I made my body into a wall. In the morning, he was cold. and my anger had nowhere to go. It turned into something else, something I'm still digesting. People ask what I would do differently. My daughter asks this directly. She wants a moral she can apply to her own marriage, which she doesn't fully admit is failing. I don't give her one. I say I don't know, or too late for that now. Both are true. What I don't say is that I would have been poorer, that I would have risked more, that I spent my life accumulating security against a loneliness that came for me anyway. And in the accumulating, I missed the living. Insurance, a retirement plan. I had silence I could depend on. What I wanted was noise I couldn't control. His noise, his inconvenient, restless, alive noise. I trained him out of it. I called that success. The last thing he said to me, awake and aware, was, "You're still beautiful." I told him to save his strength. I made a joke about his eyesight. I couldn't accept the gift without inspecting it for damage first. That was my method. My survival. I didn't survive. I persisted. They're different. One has joy in it. The other is just continuation. I sleep less now. 2, 3 hours. The nights are long and specific. I remember individual hours from 1964. The summer our middle child broke his arm. The winter we couldn't afford to fix the furnace and wore coats inside. The spring Henry came home from work and found me crying at the kitchen table and didn't ask why. Just sat with me until I stopped. That was him. That was the part I didn't know how to want. The presence without the performance. I wanted grand gestures, declarations. He gave me consistency, and I called it boring. I was wrong. I was wrong about most things. My hands look like his now. The same spots, the same tendency to move without instruction. I tap tables. I touch my own arm to remember what it felt like when he did it. The body keeps habits the mind tries to reject. I'm becoming him. It's not comfort, it's evidence. Proof that I didn't disappear completely when he did. Though some days, I'm not sure. I have no advice. I'm not giving any. I'm telling you what it feels like to be almost finished with a life that half happened. To have the clarity of hindsight without the power to apply it. To understand exactly what I destroyed and to sit with that understanding 3 times a day at this kitchen table. The same table where we ate, where he tapped his fingers, where I learned to stop hearing them. You think you have time. Everyone thinks this. I thought it until I didn't. And by then the not thinking was already too late. The conversation I refused. The anger I held like a weapon I never learned to set down. The pride in my own damage. I'm still proud of it sometimes. Still wrong. The house will be sold when I die. My children will find things. The letter, the photograph of the child. They'll construct the story I never told them. Maybe it'll be kinder than the truth. Maybe it'll be worse. I won't be here to adjust it. That's the only mercy. The only ending I get to give myself. I still set his mug out some mornings. Coffee he can't drink. Then I pour it into the sink and wash the cup and put it back in the cabinet. Every day, this small ceremony. Every day the refusal to fully let go, dressed up as moving forward. I don't know what moving forward looks like anymore. I know what it sounds like. A refrigerator humming, floors creaking, my own voice saying his name, expecting nothing. I was wrong about the time we had. I was wrong about the time I need. I'm 98 and I'm still learning how to want something that already happened. How to want it differently. How to want it at all. Instead of just surviving the memory of having had it. I'm still talking to him. I know you can't hear him answer. Neither can I. That doesn't stop me. That doesn't stop anything.